I'm just gonna hold it. Hello, everybody. I hope you're alive, and if you're not, give them a compliment. Give them a compliment. You're beautiful. That was basic. Yep. No. At least you are beautiful. Specifically said like that. Anyway, welcome back to Chaos, as per usual. We're back to our somewhat regular scheduled program. And today I'm gonna do some more yapping, and I am sorry if you don't like the yapping, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. Just kidding, except that I'm not, because I like to talk a lot. But we're gonna talk about this new piece that I did, that I just finished like last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. I finished it, okay. And I wanted to give some context, some story, some overall goodness about this piece, as I really, really like the way it turned out, and I really, really like it a lot. So let's start at the very beginning, shall we? Over the next couple of months, I'm going to be making a variety of different pieces that are going to be part of this series. Eventually, they're going to be put into a art show with a specific theme in mind of all of these pieces, even though each piece is going to be about something separate, but they're all kind of in the same thought process. I don't know if that makes any sense, and I don't want to give too much away given the fact that I want it to be cool, right? Anyway, so I've made a list of different things that I want to highlight within this big topic. Okay, this one is about 21 Pilots. Wow, that's crazy. It's not just solely about 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots is the inspo for it, for sure. But, I forgot to take my glasses off because the glare is awful. Also, my glasses broke, and they're super glued together right now. So, maybe buy some prints of this to support my new glasses fund. Because I'm still a piece of garbage. Where was my thought process? 21 Pilots. Okay, 21 Pilots recently-ish released a new album called Breach, which puts an end to the whole storyline regarding their whole storyline. I repeated myself. Storyline with Dima, Clancy, Torchbearer, all that fun jazz. If you don't know the context of 21 Pilots and are into all their lore and stuff like that, you should be. And that is all I will say on that. I can link Dima for Dummies in the description if you would like, because you need to culture yourself. 21 Pilots has been a huge part of my life for a very, very long time, and it has carried me through a lot of different things going on in this noggin up here, both good and bad. And so that is what goes into the big topic of my series that I am creating. This piece is a representation of how 21 Pilots has carried me through different ups and downs of my life, and how it has helped me not feel alone. And more context too about Dima, Clancy, all of 21 Pilots' lore. The main part of it is that it's a cycle, and it's a never-ending cycle, and you're always gonna have the hardship. You're always gonna be going back to old ways when you want to find new ways. It's just, the whole point is it's an endless cycle. It's a loop. You're always going to struggle, but as long as you keep trying and try again, you always try again. How this translates into this piece, especially with how 21 Pilots has carried me, we're first going to start with the background, because background colorness does have a lot to do with this. The colors themselves very much tie in and give the vibes of a lot of the colors of the albums of 21 Pilots. I sort of did that purposefully, sort of didn't. But the point is for this side to be kind of the more darker spooky looking side of it, and then it blends into the lighter part of it, where it's clear blue, like a blue sky almost, like it's clear. This outline of this is actually Clancy. I took the outline of Tyler Joseph from his album cover, and I made the outline of it. And so if you know who it is, you can tell given certain characteristics about it, but if you don't, then it just looks like a person. So The whole representation of this is that 21 Pilots, Clancy, etc., has carried me through the dark parts of my life and has gotten me to the point of where I am now. And the cycle is still ongoing, but the story that they are telling is done. They're not done making music. This is just they're done for this 10-year story that they've been telling. So they've carried me to where I am now, which is like this middle part where it's kind of a mesh between the two sides. And so, but this is as far as it can go. So I'm left to go on my own across this bridge. And originally, in my original concepts of this, I thought about like trying to like have this kind of thing where there's a cliff, but then there's like supplies to build a bridge because you've learned how to build a bridge from, but that's not ended up how I ended up doing this painting. However, I still have this concept in mind that like through this I was learning how to build the bridge and eventually built it myself, and now but I have to go across it alone now. There's that where he's here and is fading away and can't go any farther, and even though in your life you might have had something or someone that has helped you through your life, there gets a point where you do have to move on and do it yourself, because you can't always depend on something or someone to fix your issues. They can help you and guide you, but it's all up to you to be able to cross the bridge. So that's kind of what the representation of this is. The trees are mostly a filler because it looked really, really empty. But also I think the trees might add to like this spooky foresty vibe. Like it's spooky over here and there's like a dense forest that you've been going through. And then these little birds over here. Originally I was going to try and like do like paint like flower petals coming down, because that's has to do with 21 Pilots lore again, but I really didn't really like the look of that. So instead I put these birds here, because also in 21 Pilots lore there's like vultures, and I was like, oh, birds. That's the extent of my thought process there, because I also just feel like this corner needs something and it felt like that fit. But also it's kind of like they're moving forward too, and you gotta follow. And usually, you know, birds is in the clear skies, it's like, oh, look at freedom. Birds do represent freedom. So there's a story with this piece. I really like it. I think it's pretty cool. And then a little more about the process. The process of this painting, I did start with background, but the only problem is I didn't want a green right here, because, you know, if you don't know color theory, yellow, orange, and blue make green. But I didn't want a total green strip right here. Though you can see that there's green because it's inevitable that they mix. But something that I did to keep them from totally having me struggling blending them together and stuff like that is I painted it white in the middle. So I did the black, the red, the orange, and yellowy with the teal blue, and then right here I put white. So when I was blending it all together, the yellowy orange blended into the white first, and then the white blended into the teal. So it made it a lot more easier to blend it without having a really muddy green right there. And then this cliff was a pain in my butt, because I tried a couple of things first. I tried to make it like scraping the palette knife like it was rocky and stony, but it just didn't look right, and it was just not, I just didn't like it at all. Instead, I tried what you see now here, which is like a sedimentary rock, so there's like the layers of it. And I just thought of this just now, but I guess you could use that as a representation of the cycle, or the cycle of your life, where you always be having hard times, hard stuff, and it just layers on, but then you are able to stand on it and move forward. But I do really like how the kind of was like reddy brown. The freaking rope bridge, there's rope detail on all the rope parts. I wanted to give up halfway through doing that, because I forgot how much I hate just doing the rope bits over and over and over and over again. In total, this part probably took me a few hours just to do the rope. And what sucked is eventually that was kind of the last part that I had to do, because I did part of it first, and then I did this, and then I did this, and I left this because I just didn't want to do it. And then eventually I had to do it, and I was mad at myself. And then the last part of this was the figure, Clancy, technically. But it was the figure, and that was pretty easy. I just looked at the album cover and then drew it outlined. Something that I almost made a mistake of, because my brain just didn't think about it, was actually putting the figure proportionate to this, because at first, for some reason, I was gonna make it like here, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense for how tall this would be. So I used my height here-ish. And I stood up and I was like, that's probably to about here, which means that I need to have half the body. Whatever. I'm taller than Tyler Joseph. So I did the figure, and then I took a palette knife and got black on it and just... There you go. Ta-da! I feel like I lost energy while I was talking about that, but that's okay. I'm tired. I wanted to go take a nap. But yeah, that's essentially the story behind this painting, and I'm really excited to do other ones that are on this topic and in this series because I'm having a lot of fun with my big brain ideas, except all of the ones that I want to start were not originally on the list that I had made, and they're just new ones that I thought of, so I need to like lock in. Lock in, losers! Oh my gosh, I need to point out a little detail in it though because it makes me really happy. There's a giant nail in the rope of the drawbridge. I almost forgot it, but it was a very important part that was in my original little tiny sketch that I did, and I almost forgot it, and I actually added it after I signed it because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about the little nail that holds the rope bridge down. I don't think anybody cares but me, but that's okay because I love it. Anyway, that is all. I hope you enjoyed me yapping very shortly about my painting, and it is available on my website. The original is available, so you can get this big boy if you wanted to. But if you can't afford the big one, I wouldn't be able to afford the big one. If you don't want the big one, can't afford the big one, or whatever, but you do really like this painting, I do have prints available in like this big to like bigger than this. So if you really, well, let me start over there. I have photo prints, canvas prints, and then I got like thick canvas. So this one is not the thick canvas. So yeah, I have prints available in photo form and canvas, which are regular, and then the ones. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting me. And yeah, I hope you have a fantabulous rest of your day. Bye.